Hello, hello. Renee here, and independent demonstrator, and we are going to be talking about kisses and hugs, and we will be live in just a few minutes. All right. All right. I am probably already live. Hi, hi. Hope everything's okay. And I bet you I'm going to start sounding here. Going to have to get oh, it's already silenced. Yay. All right, so we are good and we should be live, and I'm just going to check that as I usually do, just to make sure. And it usually just takes a few minutes to scroll through all this and see that I am live on my page. Sorry for the delay. Yes, I am. Very good. Okay, everybody. So let's look at these alternate cards. And the first one I'm going to talk about is this one right here. I'm going to open that up for you. All right, there's that one. I'm going to show you and then I'm going to discuss each one. Then there is this one. Then we have this one right here that opens up like that, as you can see right here. All right, and stands up. Then there is this one right here. There are four, and there you go. There it is. There's our cute little heart, pop-up heart, and we'll be talking about that. So let's go ahead and put these away so that I can organize and discuss how we do these, because I don't want to take a lot of your time today. Okay, so the first card, I just simply used one of the white cards, and this is how they fold. It goes up, in, and like this. Takes a few moments, but you're going to do the white. The front goes white to white and then opens up like that. Okay, so you get the fold. Now, what I did with this one is in that paper pumpkin, I should go through that. In that paper pumpkin, you have the dimensionals, you have the glue dots, you have the ink, you have a great stamp set. I just used this stamp set. It's great. You have one of these sheets, and you can see I used this heart for this one, like that. All right. And of course, I used the arrow for this one. All right. So we got the arrow. And you can cut that arrow in half to make it go exactly the way you want it to. The next thing we have in here are the oh, what are they called? Little sequins. And then we have this heart, a lot of these. And then we have this heart, which can be a great substitution for some of these cards, which I'll show you. And then this little guy. So these are basically the pieces of your kit and the envelope. And the envelope, I actually pulled one envelope apart to go ahead and make these cards. And basically what I try to do to break up the envelope is I go here and break that seal, and then start cutting my pieces the best I can to get what I want. And it's pretty easy, and I still have quite a bit left of my one envelope, so that is great. All right, so the next thing that I want to show you is I've seen this flower made over a year ago, and I tried it out a year ago and then left it behind, and then I tried it again This is my full size. You can do any size circles you want. I did use a 2 1/4 inch circle punch. A 2 is plenty. What happens is you see that difference in size, and so you can use any size, and I'm going to be using a much smaller one here. I did not do the 2 1/4. I must have done something else. Oh, no, it's still 2 1/4. Sorry. No, it's still 2 1/4. Sorry. It's like this. Just the ends are glued. It gets very big. So I cut it down and then rough up the edges, and I'll mention that. All right. For this one, I also did some golding the leaf with our beautiful golded leafing. I really use that quite a bit. It's quite easy with just glue. And then on the inside, I had punched out a little ladybug with a new ladybug punch. And there is the little card, and you can use anything you like. Here, I use the diorama. Again, you can use a heart here. You can use a circle, anything you like, so that you can write on a little message. So that's what that was for. All right. So we use this, and then we use the little ladybug, and this is the ladybug I'm going to use for this card. All right. Now, I typically do use older DSP when I do these kind of projects, because it's all about the coloring and you can't really tell what it is. So it's a great way to use up your paper. I'm going to show you how to do these. They've been going around again. And so I tried it again and still changed it by cutting it. And basically what you're going to do is you have to fold it in 4 like this. And I do suggest using a bone folder. The side that you want out, okay? Make sure that when you're folding it out. Sorry about my dog. So it's like this and then like that. All right. And then what you do, so that's just in 4, exactly that way. Then you take your 2 of your cord edges and bring them up. And all you want to do is not go beyond that point right there, not beyond that line, not beyond this line. So all you're going to do is this. I do use a bone folder. You don't really have to, but I think it's better if you do. Then you're going to bring this up. And again, not go over the edge, just the 2 right next to each other. That's all you're going to do, right? And then you're going to fold this back to this line, to the middle line. So you're just folding that back to the middle line. You're folding it back to the middle line. All right. And you get something that looks like this. Now, what I am showing is this is the side I wanted. This is the side that I wanted on the inside like this. All right. Once I cut it off, it's not going to show much, just this and this is going to show, which is fine. And so when I fold back, those that rim, I'm going to fold it on the side that I want to see in the center here. You see how I did that? So it's like that. Fold this back so that I can turn it around and fold it like that. So I'll do one more. So again, I want this side, so in the center there, and fold it over at the rim. I want to call it edges because they're not edges. I guess it's the rim. And so then I just fold it in 4. I'll try to be as exact as I can. And then once that's done, okay, open it up, perfect. And then I'm going to fold back the side I want in the center here, just like that. Takes some time to get used to doing this. But once you get the hang of it and practice a little bit, you'll be just fine. And then I'm going to take this and bring it over. Okay, just like that and just like that. Now you only need 8 of these. And then you have a 9th one for your back. All right. So you want that to be your back, and you're going to glue all these on. So when you do that, you want to fold it once. I don't fold it completely. I just kind of pinch the ends, and then I fold it and pinch the ends so I can find the center, and I mark the center in pencil. And then all I'm going to do is put glue right down here. I'm going to put glue right down there, and I'm going to start, and I just glue that tip down. That's all I need to do. And since I got that, I'm going to go here first, right to the center. And then I'm going to take this one and go here to the center. Then here, since I marked it right there, see? Right there. And then I'm going to go right here to the center. So, and then all I need is one more to fill it in. That's why I need 8 of those. So that's all you have to do for these. And then what I do, okay, is I turn it around and I go ahead and cut all the way around. So here is another one where I put them all in there, where I put all of 8. So I had center, then put one in each slot, and then I cut it way down. So I'm going to take my scissors and literally just cut it way down. I'm going to follow, I am going to follow kind of the scheme of things. I'm leaving a little space because I'm going to finish this one eventually. And then what I do, I take my scissors, and one side will be rough, one of the edges will be rough, and I simply scrape this, okay? That's all I do. I just simply scrape to get a rough edge. And then on some of these, I actually took hearts and put them in the center, but you don't have to do that. And then you make your little flower. And then I went ahead and took a leaf. There are various kinds of leaves that you can use for that center. And all you need is literally a large little embellishment, and it works just fine. So I'll go ahead and I would finish that off. All right, that's all it is. All right, so then that's done. And then all I need to do then is cut this out, have available little hearts if you like, and I will stick my little bug right there. And you can use other things, of course. There's all kinds of little organisms and animals. It can be a lot of fun for this little corner. All right, I just thought the butterflies obviously would work real well. I just thought with this new punch, I just enjoyed it so much, I wanted to use it. So that's why we're doing that. So that is card number 1 for my class. All right. Card number 1. Okay, so card number 2. Okay. And card number 2, you are going to have to cut it apart, right? You're going to have to cut this apart. Very cute. And I mentioned in my class that when I do my class, that you actually don't even have to have the kit, because I will teach you out of a heart. If you can get a fairly sizable heart, that we can do the same and put it on a card surface, all right, on a 4.5, an 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We can do it on a standard size card. So as long as you have 3 hearts, you're good to go. Now I'm going to cut the edges just a little bit, as little as I can, that I can get away with. Okay, that's good. And now I have to do the other side as well. And again, as little as I can is what I'm trying to do. I'm going to try to keep that together because I want both sides to be the same. So I'm going to just cut that edge as minorly as I can. I really don't want to cut it too much, but I do want them to be the same. So hopefully that worked. It looks like it worked pretty well. There you go. There it is. And now I should have 3 individual pieces that didn't do quite well. So I'll just cut that. I'll have to trim that just a little bit. Good. And I'll have to trim that just a little bit. All right. I probably did too many at once and should have just done one at a time. And my blade might not be as good as it should be. But okay. So I used XO as the top one, and then I used this one as the bottom, and this one as the side here, as you can see. Okay. So what's going to happen with this one is I'm going to score it. Just going to show you how to build this. Fairly easy. I'm just going to score it right underneath the heart. So all I want to do is score it right underneath the heart, just like this. Okay. And then after I did that, I want to go, as I have here, underneath that score, I want to go a whole 1.25 inches. Okay. So you're almost going half the card. So, so from this, I want to go to 1.25 inches down, and I'm going to use a ruler so that I can make sure that I do that right. And so let me do it this way. I'm going to do it this way. My ruler, my husband stole my other ruler, and so it's a little tricky because I can't find the right side ever. Okay, so I want to go down 1.25 inches from that line. Okay, you want to make sure that you're far enough down. All right, so that would be right about here that I'm going to score. All right, so right about there is where I'm going to score, and I'm going to check that real quick with this just to make sure that I am correct, but that should be, yeah, 1.25 inches. That should have been, although it could have been from the edge. Well, actually, I might have been, no. Oh, actually, it's 1.5 inches. Ooh, it's 1.5 inches. You don't want to be too short on this. That is for sure. You don't want to be too short on this. I'm going to do it on the other side. So you want to make sure that you're 1.5 inches. Sorry. Not 1.25 inches, but 1.5 inches. There you go. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make sure that I get it in here, and I'll be right there here for a second. There it is. Got it up there. And then I'm just going to score right there. Okay, that was straight. And so now what I do is, that's all the scoring I do. I'm going to take this, all right, and it's going to go on the back right here and get glued down. So this is going to go up like that, and it's going to get glued right here. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to glue that right here. Just want to make sure you can see how these are made real quick. Again, I'm going to just bring it down a little bit so I can go ahead and center that. You want to get it right. There you go. That's all you want. Just like that. There. And then now this piece, the way this works is this gets glued right here, and then creases. Okay, so let's let that dry for a few seconds. Sure, it's all good. Let that dry for a few seconds. All right. Then I am pretty sure that bends in. That bends in just like that. And then this just goes right on top of there. And so all I do, get that down, glue this like that. That's all you need to do. And make sure that this is fitting. So you see why I wanted them to be exactly the same and why I cut it together. Make sure you have a good blade and you'll be fine. All right. All right. And there's your card. There's your card. That's all there is to it. All right. And I will probably trim my card up a little bit because it's not quite what I want it to be, but I'll get it there. Yeah, I'll have to trim it a little bit by scissors, and I will do that to make it exactly the way I want it. There you go. There you go. A little bit more on that side to get it exact. Perfect. All right, so you got your little heart right there, and you've got your little stand. And so what I did is I did use an old die from last year that I like because it gives me the outlines and the full heart. You can use it from the new Sweet Talk suite. You sure can get the hearts you need. And I used this piece that came from the set. This is part of the envelope. This is part of the set. This is part of the set. This is part of the set. The stamp set is great. And there you go. There's your card. All right. That's all there is to this card. And of course, you can use any bow you like. All right. So the next card, which is this card, and what I did with this one is I used the centerpiece. And so I had to cut this card into 3 pieces. And so all I do is cut this card into 3 pieces. And I'm just going to use scissors for right now. The only piece I'm going to use right now is this piece. You use a standard piece of cardstock, okay? And you are going to take that piece of cardstock and you are going to cut the front off at exactly, if I am correct, 1.5 inches. But again, I really, 1.25 inches. You're gonna leave 1.25 inches, right? So you're gonna take off 1.25 inches here. On the front, I'm just using examples. Of course, you would want to use the right color. I used, I said 1.25 inches is what I wanted. 1.25 inches is what I want. So I'm just going to go ahead, and this is at 4.25, right? So from the halfway, I can actually do this if I want, but how much is 3 inches? That's what I want to take off. I want to take off 3 inches. 3 inches, yay. And then you want to cut a piece of DSP, a standard size piece of DSP that would be a 4 by 5.25. So what you do is you take one and you cut a piece of DSP that is 4 by 5.25. And then that's going to be, that fits right not 4, sorry, not by 5 1/4, my mistake. That's why it's important to show you sometimes. It is going to be a 4, that is true. But what it's going to be is 5 1/2. You want it as long as the original cardstock is. So that would be at 5 1/2. Sorry about that. That comes down here. Then what you're going to do, this piece is probably a little bit bigger or something. Yeah, no, it's fine. So then what you do is you literally just glue this all the way down here, and you do have this edge, and it's nice. And so then what you do is you're going to take a strip that is an inch wide, I believe, an inch wide strip. So I would take an inch wide strip. I don't want to use that paper because that's not going to work for us. So what I would do is I'll take this. I will find some new cardstock, but just to show you, I'm going to take an inch strip and I'm going to cut it at 5 1/2. So you're going to take an inch and then you're going to cut it at 5 1/2. And then you're going to butt it up right against that edge and glue it down. Okay, just glue it down, straight down. And then when you look at this, you will see that what I did is I took this center heart and I literally simply wrapped it around. I placed it here. All right, I placed it here, glued it down, and then wrapped the edge around this corner. I did score it once I marked where it's going to be. I did score it and wrapped it around and gave a little heart. All right. So the back of this, as you will see, is the wrong way. So I probably would change this and probably try and make it go up and down. And so I might put another piece of designer paper over this, which is just fine. And actually, it's what I did here. All right. So, and all you need is a doily of some sort, or this is a die that is in the annual catalog that I use. And this is Hearts and Home doilies. You can use these maybe if you like. And then you could use, if you have some of these around, any kind of doily, or you can use the heart that is part of the kit, the vellum heart, and put it underneath. And you just see here, I stamped it. This right here, what I used for that inch strip was the envelope. I did use the envelope. I cut up the envelope, and this strip came from the envelope, which I thought worked really well. But of course, you can use any strip you like, but with the paper pumpkin, of course, you can pull apart that one envelope and it will go a long way for you in these cards. All right, so that is that one. That's number 3. I hope that made sense. Now I have these 2 pieces left, right? What am I going to do? Well, I decided to make this card. And this card, as you can see, is a pop-up card. And what I did is I took this and I used a vanilla cardstock, and I did have this from a previous kit, or I think it was actually envelopes and cards that had gone on sale. And I decided how I wanted these situated. And I knew I was going to cut that edge off, and I knew I wanted to cut that edge off. So I situated them and said, okay, I want this one here. And so I marked it right here and right here, and then cut that off. And then I went ahead and if I wanted it lower, that's fine. I think I had that one lower. And then this one was higher, and I went ahead and marked it, and then had to move that to mark it, and then cut that piece off so that they are both not going over the middle fold. So then I went ahead and cut a piece of, cut a strip of vanilla cardstock. Now here I used the Flirty Flamingo. I could have used the pink here, which I think is Blushing Bride, or the vanilla. And what you want is you want a piece that is 1 inch by 3 inches. And then you want to fold it in half. Okay, so you're going to score it at a half. Then I also scored down 1/4 of an inch. I believe it's a quarter. No, it's a 1/2 inch. Then I scored down each end a 1/2 inch, and then I cut. Yes. So the way this mechanism works, all right, is that both of these flaps like this, okay, are going to end up, actually it goes this way, I can tell, goes this way, goes this way. So these are pointing towards, as you see here, here's the fold. These are going like this towards the fold. All right, looks like a little guy here. All right, so you can see that. And so you would center that, all right in the middle here. So this has to be right at the center. You also have to be careful if your item is large versus smaller, you're going to have it pretty high. All right. And I also had to, if I can show you this, I had to go pretty high so that when it closes, you see how close it is to the bottom? So you have to be careful where you put this. So you have to play around with it. But basically, I like it to fold down because I like to see the crease. I like to see this crease coming my way. All right, and you can see here I stamped it a little bit and had some fun. All right, the initial one, what I had done is I had made wings for it. So you see here. And you can make, this one's a little bit longer on those flaps, and you can try that as well to make them a little bit longer than a 1/2 inch. It's you know, it depends on how it works for you. So you can look and play around with it. But basically what you're doing here with this is then deciding where you want it, and wherever that fold is, if the fold is pointed, if this fold is pointed this way, then it's going to fold down when it closes. If that fold is pointed that way, then it's going to fold this way. So be aware of that. All right. And so to this card, you see, I simply went ahead and punched out some butterflies with a butterfly punch, and did some edging in the gray from the paper pumpkin kit. On the front, I did use the new heart embossing folder. I did do that. And I punched out this from my doily. You can punch out any heart that you would like. I cut again from the envelope. I used the doily. All right. So when you open this up, this doily actually is the one that I punched the heart out from. If you look right there, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, I see. So that's where that was from. So it's right there. So there you go. So that is my 3rd card. So I am hoping that I did not take too long, but I see it's already 42 minutes and I took way too long. But I wanted to show you how to actually make these more so and make sure that you saw the different ways. So I hope you enjoyed it. And this is Renee signing off. And please like, it really makes a difference, whether this is on the live or whether you see this on YouTube, which it will be going to. So thank you and have a great day. Bye-bye now.